Great. Well, Chinglish is about an American businessman who goes to the Chinese provincial capital of Hwang to try to make a deal for his family's firm, and runs into a bunch of complications. He can't speak the language, of course, but he also hires a consultant who may be a fraud.
Right.
And he starts to become fascinated by a female Chinese official who he's not sure what her agenda is.
Great. Okay. And how did you come up with this show? Like, what made you decide to write it?
You know, I've been traveling to China a fair amount over the last about once or twice a year for the last 5 or 6 years, essentially to talk with people about Broadway musicals.
Right.
Because there's a great interest right now, particularly in Shanghai and Beijing. And I'm not bilingual. I took Mandarin in college, but I don't really speak it. So as a result, I've always had to use translators. And even as a kid, with relatives who don't speak English, I, kind of always had to negotiate across the language barrier.
Really?
So I'd never seen a show that really dealt with doing business in a culture with another language that had the issue of language in there. So in this play, the characters that would speak Mandarin do speak Mandarin, and about a quarter of the plays in Mandarin, and we use projected titles so that the audience can understand what they're saying in English.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds great. Yeah, and I was talking to your translator just earlier, and she was telling me some of the things that go on, like eating different foods and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A floating head in your soup or something is different than in America, a floating fish head.
Oh, fish head, yeah. Fish head soup is, actually fish head soup exists in a lot of cultures, but not so much in
America, right? I mean, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And I love
you have to go to, or Caribbean restaurants sometimes have fish head soup.
Right. So, okay, great. So, is there anything else, like funny that happens that you could discuss? Or
well, I think a lot of the play centers around mistranslations of Chinese in English, which is where the term Chinglish comes from.
Right.
And this is a phenomena that actually exists throughout much of China. So, for instance, the handicapped restaurant will say "deformed man's toilet," or instead of "slippery slopes ahead," the sign says "slip and fall down carefully." And that's the beginning of the many misunderstandings that take place in Chinglish.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I've been a fan of your work for many, many years, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the show.
And appreciate your being here.
Thank you so much.
Everybody start down here again, do it. Right down here. Everybody right here.